What's going on, guys? Romer the Roamer. Tonight, I have John with me. He's a full-time Amazon seller. I talked with John on the phone for about a year ago, so I take full credit for all of his success. Just kidding. Obviously, it was a lot of his hard work that got him here, but he did have the balls to quit his job and sell books on Amazon full-time. That's no small feat. He's courageous. So we're going to bring him on. But first, I'm going to show you guys my badass intro. If you guys didn't know, I have a service called restrictedinventory.com where we sell your popular textbooks, CDs, and DVDs for a 50-50 split net profit.
Grind hard, well done, sir. And welcome to the freaking Welsh.
There's some cool music, cool rap music with my logo on it. It said 50-50 split net profits for all the podcast listeners. And here's the intro, and I'm going to bring John on.
Look, grind hard, well done, sir. And welcome to the freaking Welsh show.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, Avery?
Pretty good. Just out here quarantining it up. Quarantine it up.
Oh, I like it.
How's your
Quarantine is crazy.
How are your quarantine days?
They're all right. I mean, it's just very different from the normal daily, grind that I'd be doing, but
Do you
making
hear
it
an
work.
echo at all from yourself? I forgot to put my headphones in.
Not really. Why are you hearing one?
No, I don't hear one. I was just making sure you don't hear one.
Oh, no, I don't hear one.
Okay, cool. I might just turn your volume down a little bit just in case that happens. Yeah, man. So you want to tell them how you got started and when you got started selling on Amazon? How long ago was that?
Yeah, sure. So basically I think it was 2006, I actually started flipping furniture from basically like Craigslist to Facebook Marketplace. And it was awesome. Like I'd literally buy a table for like $40 and flip it for 80, and I just kept going. It was all cash. It was really nice. And then there was this one table. So I bought this one table for my apartment, and I was single, and I got like this 6-person glass table. Like it was super, super nice. And I was like, if I get like $250 for this, I'll let it go. I posted it, and sure enough, like in 40 minutes, someone gave me $250, and that changed everything for me. Like I was trying to just double my money, but then I was like, wow, I could like 3x it, 4x it. So then after furniture, it's a big like logistical thing, right? Like I just had an apartment, so I had to like store all that stuff. It wasn't really logical. And then I'm originally from New York, so I went home for the holidays or whatever. And it sucked because like all my inventory was in Pennsylvania where I currently live, and I couldn't really sell anything. So then I stumbled across a video, one of Reezy's videos about selling books on Amazon. And to be honest, it almost sounded like a scam. Like you could go to the thrift stores, scan books, you scan a book, you pay $1, like it will pay out 30. Like, I don't know about this, but like I just followed it, and then like sure enough, like I sent in like my first batch of books, and within about a week or two, they all sold, and I was like, and I just went all in. I can't hear you right now.
What about now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That is so strange. Anyway, so when was it when you flipped your first book?
I think it was November 2017. I really got into Amazon. Yeah, November 2017.
What app were you using back then?
I was actually using what's now Scoutly
Okay.
to
Yeah, 'cause
start
Scout
off.
IQ
And
I don't think Scout IQ existed back then.
I don't think so either. I mean, that was the
It was in
only app
super
that
beta
was really
mode.
out there.
It did.
Yeah,
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Someone said can't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys have questions for Side Hustle Experiment, go ahead and throw those in there. We'll get to some Q&A at the end. What's going on, Fat Elvis Goods? James Hancock, what's up? We got Jason Ortiz from Texas in the house. And we got Michelle Someone's asking, do you like Scoutly? James asking, do you like Scoutly? Let you answer that.
I use Scout IQ. I started with Scoutly. For my experience, I like Scout IQ better. I think Scoutly leaves a lot of books on the table. Granted, I haven't used it in about maybe a year and a half, so I can't really say what they have now, but I'm a loyal Scout IQ enthusiast. I mean, Caleb Roth started it.
He's given so much to the book community. That's why
Yeah, and like
I
he's
really
given
use
so
the
much.
app.
I met him a
He's
couple
always the one that makes the
times, and
innovations too. He is the creator of eScore.
yeah,
He made that. So he was sourcing with Scout IQ back when FBA Scan was the name of Scoutly, and
right, yeah,
he was beta testing eScore, and he said it felt like cheating because he'd be in the thrift stores and he would scan stuff, and it would be like a 10 million rank item that was going for like $600, but he would see that the eScore was 1. So he knew that it sold at least once in the past 6 months, so he'd pick it up. So it really gives you insight that Scoutly wasn't able to give you at the time, but Scoutly always catches up pretty quick.
yeah. No, the eScore is a real game changer, and just like the data is just better from my experience, anyway.
So what made you want to go full time? Like, at what point were you like, I could probably do this?
So when I first started, I just got really addicted to the flip game. Like it's just, I don't know, when you pay $1 for something and you see the Scout IQ and it like rings positive, you're like, wow, like this is crazy. I'm gonna pay $1 for this and make $30. It's just insane. Um, and I was doing it, and I was just like, okay, like there could be something here. And I was working, the regular 9 to 5 or whatever. And on the weekends, I would just go crazy. Like Saturday, I would just source. I'd hit a different area every weekend. So like it could be in PA. Basically, anything within like 3 or 4 hours, I would hit. Make a trip out of it. Sometimes I'd stay over. Sometimes I wouldn't. But basically, I was like, wow, like if I had more time, like I could definitely do this full time. And then there was just kind of like this, it just all came together. I started really not liking my job. Um, so as I got more and more into the books and things started to grow with the book business, like I could definitely do this full time. And obviously I was saving a lot of money. Because what's nice is when you have a full time job, like that pays all the bills, and then the side hustle is all extra money. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just funneling that into like a savings account for like when I'm ready to go full time. So that really like amplified it for me where I'm just like, you know what? Like it's time. I'm ready.
What kind
Like
of
it's time to
Amazon,
go.
if I can ask, what kind of Amazon payouts were you getting to where you felt comfortable removing yourself from having like that consistent income from your job?
I would say probably between maybe like 3 and 4,000
And how
would be
much money were
like
you spending on inventory weekly?
um I don't know weekly, but monthly probably anywhere from 1,000 to like 1,200.
Okay. So you're
And
sourcing
now
about
that
seven, eight
was
hundred
all
books.
like cherry picking.
Okay.
So now I'm doing a lot of bulk, so it's changed a lot. But yeah, it was just basically like, hey, if I had more time, I could definitely do a lot more and make a lot more than I'm making at my full time job.
Gotcha. So how is bulk different from cherry picking in terms of just overhead and like actual like profitability?
So for my experience, I had a little bit of, I don't know. So like one of my biggest pieces of advice to people is like don't try to make something work. So when I first started doing bulk, like I really wanted it to work. So I was looking at the expenses as just like the books that I purchased. Like I wasn't taking into account like the truck that I rented, the pallets and the gaylords. So once I ran all that math, like it wasn't good. So like I basically had a bad source. But as I went through it, I found like a really good source. Um, So in terms, right now I have two. I'm really looking as a next step to hire a lister. I think that's what I want to hire next, and maybe someone to
So
sort
say
through
that first part
Gaylords.
again before the lister. You said you have two sources. What'd you say? You kind of broke up a little
I
bit.
have 2 storage units.
Two storage units. Okay.
Yeah, I have 2 storage units where the Gaylords come from, or where they're stored rather. And I'm probably going to hire a lister soon because that will help free up a lot of my time. Um, but so the overhead went up a little bit, but then I kind of look at it as I'm not traveling as much. Like I'm not competing with other sellers. It's
Yeah.
nice. The storage unit's about 5 minutes from my house. I go there every day. I have one really, really good source. The books are somewhat expensive, but
How
I
much are they?
mean, I would say they're like maybe 150 a Gaylord,
Holy shit. But it's worth
but
it.
they're returning like maybe 4 or 500. So for me, that's really worth it. Like they're the best quality books I've ever gotten
Okay. Good
so
textbooks
far.
or
Tons of textbooks. Um, Not this load, but the last load. They must have cleaned out a library. I got maybe like 10 to 15 of like 10 different textbooks that were like highly profitable.
nice.
Um, so yeah, he's probably my best source right now. And it's nice though, because like at first I didn't have a storage unit. I was doing like the free book pickups and stuff like that. But now having a storage unit, like to do the free book pickups, it's more feasible. So I don't have to bring them back to my house. Like I could just bring them to the storage unit. Like I have someone picking up like all the duds. So like it's super easy now. So it's made stuff easier. So I feel like it's a trade-off. Like there is a little more cost involved, but it makes the process more efficient.
So are you doing mini free pickups right now?
Not really. I do them here and there. I've actually been doing a lot of DVD, CD free pickups because I started selling media as well. And I find that super more profitable than just doing
Really?
the books. Yeah. Because a lot of the free pickups I've been doing for like media, DVDs, CDs have been like a lot of people have sets. So like it'd be like everyone loves Raymond, right? They have every season. So when you lot that up on Amazon, that's like $150. Right? Books, like you get lucky, you get some textbooks. But I feel like with media and CDs, like you really only need like 2 or 3 like really highly like profitable CDs or DVDs to make it all worth it.
So how are you sourcing these CDs and DVDs? Are you going on Facebook Marketplace? Are you putting like an ad on Craigslist?
Ads on Craigslist have worked really well
Are you
for
paying
me.
for ads? Or are you doing the free ads wanted
Free
by owner?
ads, all wanted by owner ads. I'm thinking about running some Facebook ads. I think definitely for DVDs and CDs. I feel like the free book pickups are hit or miss, and it's a lot of work. But I feel like for media, it's a lot smaller, right? They're like,
Yeah,
oh, we have
a
like a
lot more
thousand
items.
books,
It's lighter,
right?
more items.
Yeah, if you have 1,000 CDs, you could fit them in like 4 Home Depot boxes. If you have 1,000 books, like you're talking
And
about like
what kind
10.
of ad are you putting out there? What's it say?
It basically says free DVD, CD removal. It's like, oh, if you have CDs, DVDs that you no longer want or need, reach
Nice.
out to us. We'll pick
So
them up for free.
you're not paying for these. You're getting them for
No,
free.
not at all.
Nice. What would you say your acceptance rate is for like an average haul?
An average haul, I've actually only done 3 so far. This is kind of a new thing. I was basically doing book pickups,
Sorry,
free
I had to
book
focus
pickups.
on myself.
And I was just like, I wonder if this work with DVDs and CDs. And I feel like I don't get as much response, but when I do, like it works pretty good. I would say the average response rate is maybe anywhere from 10 to 15%. But I think where you really make the money is on those sets. So like for example, like the last pickup I did, the guy had like lost season 1 through 6. Like that sells on Amazon for like $140, like the last time I checked.
Nice.
Like that's crazy. Like individually they're not worth anything, but like lotted up on like Amazon or eBay, like it's worth a lot.
Are you selling on eBay at all?
I do.
How do you decide whether to list an item on eBay or Amazon? Say it again.
Basically pretty much the price. Pretty much the price.
Okay.
So I really look at how much like Amazon's paying out, how much is eBay paying out. I obviously prefer Amazon FBA because it's less work on my part. Like I don't have to store it. But there's actually some stuff that's more valuable on eBay than is on Amazon. So to kind of like, just do that balance and just whatever makes the most sense. That's kind of how I go about it.
Gotcha. So if you could go back in time and like let's just say rewind 5 years and you're going to start this again, would you just jump straight? And let's say you have a little bit of money saved up. So you got like $10,000. Knowing what you know now, what would you pursue? Would you pursue the free book pickups first, or would you just try to establish some bulk connections?
If I had money saved up, I would definitely do bulk, hands down. For me, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people try different avenues. I know you're big on like consignment.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. I just like bulk. So when you do bulk, I feel like you get Gaylords of books. And for people who don't know what that is, it's basically a big box that's like 48 by 48 by 48. There could be like anywhere from like 800 to 1,000 books in one. And inside those Gaylords, like you'll find like DVDs, CDs. You could basically find anything. Like literally, I found an Xbox the other day, like 4 controllers and a bunch of video games that sold like for $300 locally, and that like paid for half of the Gaylords I got. Like it's crazy.
What are you doing with your duds?
For duds, I use Sell Back Your Books. One of the most valuable things that I have, which I want to do more of, is I partnered with someone who has like almost like a Civil War bookshop. So anything that's Civil War related, presidential related, history related, I'll put them in a Home Depot box and he'll buy them for $10 a box. So it's like easiest money. So all the books in that is like for stuff that's not good for Amazon, not good for Sell Back Your Books. So they basically be like straight up garbage. But this guy buys them for $10 a box.
Nice.
So if I can find other sources like that who will buy like nonfiction or who will buy just kids books, like that could be really big.
You think you could find people to consistently buy different books like that though per box?
I think so. I mean, I don't
Where
know.
would you
Like,
find them? Would you market it on Craigslist and just look for a lot of different people, or?
yeah, that's how the whole thing actually started. So I basically posted an ad on Craigslist. Basically, they were all my duds from Gaylords. And I was like, hey, if you have a bookstore, like these could be good for you or whatever. And he responded. And he's like, yeah, I'll take all the Gaylords. And then it was actually like a big mess. Like he shows up, like the truck didn't have a lift gate. I was like, I don't have a forklift. I was like, how do you expect to get these on? And like we just kind of like looked at each other. I'm like, well, I guess I have some extra Gaylords. Like I guess we could like load them into other Gaylords into the truck.
Gosh.
We did that for freaking 8 Gaylords. It took like 3 or 4 hours and like
Oh, that sounds exhausting.
what a mess.
How much did you
But
sell
then
them
like
for? How much did you end up getting?
nothing. Like I was like, you could take them for free. So I was like, I like outlined it's like, hey, this is the truck you need to buy, blah 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 blah. And he's like, oh, the lift gate was expensive. And I was like, dude,
Oh
like,
God.
are you serious? But like, it worked out because like he's given me like a lot more, like by paying for those books and stuff. So
Gotcha.
it ended up working out in the end. But I honestly think there's a lot of used bookstores that I could probably partner with because a lot of the ones like they'll sell paperbacks around where I am for like $4 and hardbacks $8. So I mean, if you paid $1 a book, I mean you're 4xing your money.
And they're used bookstores.
Yeah, they're all used.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. You just gotta make sure you have a system in place to be able to, like, if you're processing a Gaylord, it's like obvious, like, okay, this isn't profitable on Amazon. I can't send it to sell back your book. I'm going to throw it in the history Gaylord, or since that asshole doesn't have a lift gate, the history box,
Yeah. Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
and just have a system for, like, as long as you can do that. The thing is, like, at scale, you have to think, like, at what point is it not going to be worth it to try and monetize each different category, because
Oh
at
yeah.
a certain point, if you process 3 times as many books, this guy's going to be like, I can't take that many. I can't take that many books anymore. So you're going to have to make sure. I mean, it could just always be like a little side income, but you got to think at scale. Like, could you make it work? That's why I was asking, how do you plan on finding more of these partners to sell these different books to?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. At scale, like eventually like at this point, like I am almost ready for a warehouse, so that could like change, a little bit. But it has been like kind of like a nice little like source. So like even if I did throw all them into Gaylords and like was able to sort out, like I don't know, he's like I feel like the price is so cheap that like it's almost worth his while to like come get them. I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting way. Like I don't really see too many people doing that.
How many Gaylords are you able to get through per week?
Per week, I could do about. See, I'm all by myself, so I could do about 10 to 12 a week.
Okay,
And that's processed and like pretty much sent to Amazon.
gotcha. So you're looking about 5,000, 4 or 5,000 net or gross right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Payout, Amazon payout over
Yeah.
the next 3 months, and you're investing 150 for all those, or just a
Well,
few?
so it'd be pretty much so if I got 12 Gaylords from this guy, it would cost $1,800, and that's delivered from another state. Um, I think it rounds out to about like 150, 180. It really depends on the weight of them.
Okay,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I have him, and then I have another source that I use who's not as good, but he's much cheaper. So I kind of bounce the two of them together.
gotcha. So you're looking about 3,000 there, and then how much you paying for these storage units per month?
About 200.
Oh, for both total?
No, each.
Okay, so
It's like
400.
400.
Okay, so yeah, you're looking at. I mean, you could be, if you keep that pace up, like, conservatively, that's at least 2,500 a week, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
This-
and it just works out. Like, I mean, this last batch has probably been the best batch I've gotten. And well, since Amazon kind of like
So
shut
you're
down the
scanning all
FBA,
these books. How are you scanning these books? You're putting them on the table. What are you doing?
I actually I see a lot of things about like putting them on the table, face up. For me, I just go in the Gaylord and I pick up the book. If it has a barcode, I scan it. If it doesn't, I use the OCR and Scat IQ. If it's bad, I throw it in the bad Gaylord. If it's for sell back your book, I throw it in that Gaylord. I don't do the whole, oh, these don't have ISBNs and throw in the one Gaylord. I process everything on site.
Grabbing the book out of the Gaylord,
Mhm.
you're scanning it,
Yep.
and then you're throwing it in like, wherever it's supposed to go.
Correct.
How are you making, like, because if you have 10 Gaylords, what if one's positioned really far in the back?
Well, so when I start, so what happens is I'll have an empty one. So I'll put an empty one in the very back of the storage unit. And then the one to the left of that, that's where I'll start. So like I'll scan one. If it's bad, it gets thrown in there.
I got it. So each time
If
you're emptying a Gaylord out.
pretty much, and then it kind of starts the opposite way.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, it's
And so
probably not the best process, but as for a storage unit, it's pretty efficient.
how long does it take you to get through a Gaylord?
I could do a Gaylord in about 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah, you could. I feel like you could fix a lot with the warehouse, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like that also opens me up to a lot of different opportunities, right? If at a warehouse, I'd have a forklift and I could buy by the truckload, and that would solve a lot of problems for me as well. So I'm definitely looking into that, and I think I'm ready. Um, it's just finding that like right spot and space.
Yeah, I would look into getting a lister ASAP. Just practice
No, that's
your
definitely
delegation skills.
no, that's definitely on my list. And I mean, if I didn't have to list all the books, I'd definitely have so much more time to scan. Um, but yeah, a lister is definitely on my list, and I'm kind of like hammering out that process, like how it all works and like what I'm thinking about, and like just trying to work out all that the systems and logistics.
Yeah, message me and I'll get you. I'll help you out a lot because I have a lot of content in my course coming out, the book business blueprint, and so I'll provide you with like the manual and you can test it out for me.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome because
Yeah,
like
because
I'm
I mean
really
I use it for
looking
my
for
team.
that.
I've had people use it. They say it's great, but I'm trying to get all the feedback I can for it. So and I would
I'll
also
provide you, yeah,
I'd give you
all
some
the
video.
feedback you need.
Okay, cool. I'll give you some video footage too on how to hire the lister, but it really just comes down to pulling the trigger and actually it's pretty simple. Like you put an ad out in Nextdoor or Craigslist, just like you're finding the books. Say you want some help, and then you give them the manual. You make sure they're not a psychopath. And for your storage unit, the thing is, like when it comes to getting a warehouse, you'd be looking for a different type of employee. You'd be looking for an employee that can process the Gaylords and also
Right.
list the books in the warehouse. Where if you keep doing it the way you're doing it, you could pull all the books yourself, or better yet, get someone else to do what you're doing. Convince someone
Yeah.
to climb into Gaylords like you're doing, and then have them stack all the good books near the edge of the storage unit. This is how we used to do it. And then the listers can come, open up the storage unit, throw everything in their vehicle. I actually convinced my listers I wouldn't pay them for their time doing that. I said, I'm
Oh, okay.
not paying you for your time doing this because they could also take the books, my duds. There was another pile of duds. So I said, you load up however much you can to list from your house here. And then this is your reward. You're going to take my duds to a local bookstore, and whatever they give you in trade credit, I'll pay you 30% of the
That's
trade
smart.
credit. So whenever they get $100 in trade credit, because the store, McKay's used bookstore, if anyone's listening in the South, they pay a ton for your
Wow.
duds. And so they'd get $100 slip. I'd pay them $30. I wouldn't pay them for their time to pick up the books, but I'm not sure if you could get something going like that. But maybe have like a requirement of they have to have a truck. There's fucking cowbells out here in Miami right now. We got cowbells outside. There wasn't there was supposed to be a balcony party today for everyone listening.
Really?
The balcony party didn't happen. I went outside. This is quarantine time for everyone listening to this in the future. We're quarantined right now, and our definition of fun is having a balcony party. But I was gonna get the speakers and go outside, but I went outside. I was the only person on my balcony. There's a couple other dudes. It wasn't very cool. But yeah, what I would do is I would have a threshold of I don't know, unless you get a really good deal in a warehouse, like I don't know. I'm kind of
Yeah, it's like
twofold on this.
interesting. So like I'm thinking about a warehouse. So like an ideal situation I feel like is to be like to find someone who has extra space and maybe has a forklift and like a loading dock.
That would be
I
those
feel
would
like
all be
that's the
great things.
ideal situation. And I heard like some people do find that to reach out to like a commercial real estate broker because they know like who might have extra space. And it's funny, I actually put an ad on Craigslist, hey, like looking for warehouse space. And someone who they're actually like a prep center for Amazon stuff is like, hey, I'm looking to buy a warehouse. Like, I'll keep you in mind. But they're
Okay.
almost looking to do like a co-working space out of it. So I think that's like a really big need that could be filled in the current market.
What I would do is I would hire your lister first, just so you get in like the mindset of having someone else work for you. And I would get that operation going. The thing about working in the storage unit is anybody you hire is just going to think you're like not legit because when you, not the lister you could, because she gets to work from home. That's her benefit. But anybody who's working in a storage unit is going to be like, I'm working in a fucking storage unit right now. Like this isn't a real job.
Yeah.
Versus if you get a warehouse or a shared space, they're going to feel like they're actually working for somebody. That was the biggest struggle I had working out of a storage unit. But yeah, I would work on.
Are you still doing Gaylords out of your storage units?
We have Gaylords in there right now. The plan was this time we were just going to take all of them to McKay's instead of, because I was going to pay someone to go through them, but I end up paying like for someone to go through 20 Gaylords. It's not very efficient to process Gaylords in a storage unit. So I was way overpaying them. So I was like, this time we're not even going to pay anyone to go through them. We're going to take everything to McKay's. And we'll probably get paid more for the stuff we take to McKay's. And I'm just focusing on I'm focusing on getting inventory delivered to my lister's doorstep, whether it's colleges, libraries, other resellers, people. Like I just put out an ad. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook where I was like, hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Avery. You can make money from your house because everybody's stuck at home right now. You can make money. All you have to do is get up, walk over to your bookshelf and scan everything. Just find ways to get books delivered to their doorstep. But I don't know. We'll see how this load goes, because 20 pallets taken to McKay's, we could probably get, what's 20? That's not right. 500. What's 500 times 20? Is that 20,000? That's not 20,000. 10,000. You probably get $10,000 in store credit, but then I'm paying 3,000 out, and so that it's a hustle for sure. And then I have to sell it, and I can sell the 10,000 for 8. So theoretically, in the best world, I make 5,000.
That's pretty good. I mean,
but then I have to pay for the storage units, which is like $500. So it brings me down to 4,500. And if there's ever any hustling or haggling on the store credit, how much we sell it for, that just lowers our margins even more. And I'm here in Miami trying to run restrictedinventory.com, selling my book selling course. Like I'm doing like a lot of other things. And it's like, I don't know if I want my energy like on this weird little storage unit hustle. Cause I know that's not like the long-term plan. It's fun. It's fun doing it. And it's like, it feels so good selling that store credit. I'm selling it on eBay now. So if anybody listening wants store credit to McKay's, I will sell it to you for 80 cents on the dollar on eBay, or just reach out to me and I'll sell it to you. But it's fun. It's a hustle though. It's not a business.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding with bulk, right? So like right now it's a hustle, but I almost feel like bulk can turn into a business easily.
Bulk has the potential because it's replenishable. You just need to get a system to process it. Like it's taking you 2 hours to process a Gaylord right now. You can knock that down with warehouse space to like 30 minutes.
And that's what I see. Like some of the warehouse you go to, you ask, oh, how long does it take? It's like 30 minutes. And I was like,
Insane Book Hustle. Have you seen him? He'll probably hop in. Yeah. Again. He could process one in 18 minutes. And I believe it too. Because
if I had like a table and like a dumper and like
he's a lot of it conveyor belt, and then he's stacking them on the conveyor belt. He's got my favorite processing method for Gaylords. He dumps them all out, stacks them all up, and he's actually scanning the books twice with the software he's using. But even though he's scanning it twice, he can still do it in 18 minutes, which is insanely fast.
That's crazy.
We got a lot of people in here. Someone's saying for DVDs, certain niches do better on eBay. Diego, you both sound so bored. Well, fuck you, Diego.
Wow. Tough crowd.
Books aren't the most exciting thing, Diego. Get the hell out of here. Diego's always coming in hating. There seems to be that tilting edge where more space is needed to make it faster for time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Sublet. Not sure what he's talking about. Money makes it a real job. But yeah, so you're planning to scale. Where do you see yourself 2 years from now?
I definitely think getting a warehouse, definitely doing more bulk books, maybe processing by like probably by like the tractor trailer load. Getting a lister, obviously, getting some of the process to Gaylords, and then maybe a little consignment. I'm not really sure. Like the consignment model makes like a lot of sense. Like I do envy what you have. Like it's a great business model. But for me, like I don't know, it's just really not my thing. Like I just really like the bulk. Like I don't know, like I've done cherry picking, I've done bulk. I do have someone who works for me who does do, he goes out and finds deals and we can sign on those deals. But I feel like that's almost, I don't know, I don't enjoy that as much as bulk. Like I do really like the bulk operation and finding, I think, creative ways to monetize the duds. Like obviously sell back your books is a good example, but it's like, what do you do with all the other ones?
Mm-hmm.
And in the quarantine, I've actually been experimenting a lot on eBay. So like a lot of like the dud, not so much for books, but a lot of the dud like DVDs and CDs. I've been lotting them up on eBay. So I'll sell like 100 DVDs for like $60. And they pay the shipping and you make like $40. It takes like, I don't know, 2 minutes to take the
What do you do?
pictures.
Do you just take a picture of everything like face up for the
Yeah,
lot?
so I'll just stack them up and then you take a picture of all of them and then you just like take pictures of them like close up so they can see the titles of each stack and that's it. It
And
literally takes
then
five
do you
minutes.
go ahead and box them up or do you leave them out until it sells?
I'll box them up in the Home Depot box this way like when it sells
And you'll
it
just
just I just put a label on it and that's it.
nice.
Yeah, so it's like an easy like 30-40 bucks for something that's like garbage really.
And how much is shipping generally on the lots?
I think the last lot I sent out is maybe like 12-13 bucks. I mean it goes medium mail. It's not terrible. But they pay shipping. I don't pay the shipping.
Ben is asking, do you advertise book pickups? Do you say it's free or that you pay for the books? You're getting all of them for free, right?
Yeah, they're all for free. So for book pickups, I advertise there for free. I have advertised in the past, hey, we buy books in bulk, but it turns out to be like almost too much of a headache. A
He's
lot of the
saying my
people
fear
want,
is that if you do it for free, those who want to sell them will skip you over. Or if you say you pay, those who would otherwise donate would charge you instead. Exactly. That's why
yeah.
I say I pay for textbooks, so I make a separate ad for textbooks.
Oh, I
And
have a
then
separate ad for textbooks.
okay,
Textbooks
nice.
and free book pickups are totally different. Like, yeah, I'll pay for the textbooks. Free book pickups, I mean, you get a lot of garbage, but like, I would say maybe like 2 out of 10, like you really hit some gold and that kind of like makes it worth it. And then to sell back your books, a bunch go there. So like, it's kind of like a wash, but it's definitely worth it. It's not my favorite thing to do. I just really like the bulk, I think. But it's a nice supplement, especially like in this quarantine. A lot of people have been reaching out, be like, "Hey, the thrift stores are closed. Like, will you take these?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take them."
Nice. So what would make you happy with your book business? Let's fast forward 5 years. Where would you want to be?
So I think what would make me happy with my bulk business or my book business is I could step away. Right now, like obviously, I'm the only person who's doing it, and that has its limitations. But I think if I had if I went on vacation or wanted to go somewhere to have things just like running by themselves, that would be awesome. And I also would like to like stem off into like a personal brand and have a blog and help other people get started because like I have a very small Instagram like compared to like you and other people, But like I still get DMs like, oh wow, like I just got started, like you changed my life, like I can't believe like this is even possible. And like that is like, I don't know, better than any like $1 to $100 flip. Like it's just, I don't know. There's something about that for me that just like,
Yeah.
wow, like really? Like I'm just posting like, hey, like,
Yeah. It's awesome. It's something else.
it's like, wow.
Do you have a blog yet?
I do. It's sidehustleexperiment.com. I have
Nah,
maybe like 3 or 4 posts.
I'm gonna check this out right now.
But yeah, I mean, I'll post this video on there. Um, and yeah, the quarantine, like, it's really been like, all right, like, you can write a lot of content. Like, I have a lot of ideas about it. Um, that's more my thing is writing, not so much video. So I
Okay.
think that would be a big focus for
Oh yeah,
me.
you did get featured on CNBC. That's so
I
cool.
did. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, this is awesome. I'm gonna share the screen real quick so everybody can see this.
Yeah, do it.
For everybody watching on YouTube, which is everybody right now, I'm gonna extract this audio to different podcast platforms. All right, here he is. How I prepared for getting my first batch of book Gaylords. Nice. This is solid, man.
Yeah, so I have 3 articles. I have like the tools of the trade, like that's coming. I'll have like all, Scout IQ and all that good stuff there. And then I'm gonna like come up with like almost like a free giveaway. I honestly think like even though I do sell books on Amazon, I honestly think the best way for someone to start is locally. Basically like kind of why I started like flips on like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, because this is a hustle. And if you don't like doing like the local flips, like you probably aren't gonna like doing like the whole Amazon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Amazon, not that it has a lot of overhead, but like you have to create an account. Like it's funny. So like basically I started a CD and DVD. I started a separate account just for that stuff. And it's like starting over. So like my book account is like, it's matured, like I have all the good software and stuff. But like going back for like,
So your name's the same on each account?
no, everything's different.
So you have a different name on the
You have 2 different Amazon accounts right now.
but is your actual name like personal name associated with both accounts on the back end?
No, 2 separate businesses, 2 separate emails.
But what about like
Oh, my name is on both, yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I used to recommend people get 2 separate accounts and keep the business separate and all that, but then now I don't even recommend that because when I got my account shut down in October, they shut down both my accounts.
That's crazy. Wow.
So now what
that.
I recommend is get your wife to, do you have a wife?
No, I have a girlfriend.
Okay. Or maybe
I can put
that's
an account in her name.
sketchy.
But
get your girlfriend, get your mom rather, or dad or family member to set up an account. Get a business set up for them, and that's how you're going to do it. Because then the whole point of having 2 Amazon accounts is if one gets shut down, the other's not.
yeah.
And so if you have 2 different Amazon accounts, your name's not related on either of them, then you're safe.
Yeah.
That's how I recommend to do it now. I actually have a YouTube video out there that recommends people set up a different Amazon account, but I just told them to call Amazon and say that they're selling different products, and Amazon will give you a second account. I don't even like we'll see. Like hopefully your account never gets shut down, and I guess
That's what I'm hoping.
It's kind of nice because you probably have like alternate payouts now. You probably get like that's kind of nice, but other than that, like doesn't really protect you a whole lot. I interviewed a guy a couple weeks ago. He had 15 different Amazon accounts.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
never heard of that. Wow.
He would just call people, or he would find friends who didn't sell on Amazon, had no interest in selling on Amazon, and be like, "Hey, look, I'll pay you $40 a month, or I'll pay you $50 a month if you do this for me. I'll walk you through how to set up a business. You're going to set up this business, and then I'm going to sell Amazon products on your account. And so he's got 15 accounts.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
No, it definitely is. I mean, just be able to move and shuffle when you have to. I mean,
Diane in the house, she's asking,
hey,
so
Diane.
with the shelter in place, have you gotten asked why you are picking up books?
So for our area, we just got shelter in place, I think like 2 days ago. So it hasn't really been like a huge issue. A lot of people have, there's just been like porch pickups. So like we don't really even interact or anything. But there's definitely like anything else, right? Like when there's something like this, there's always opportunity. And all the thrift stores in my area are closed. Originally, they were open for donation, but that all stopped probably like a week or two ago. But I mean, after like the last 2 days, I'm really trying to stay in because, like, you know, they say like the best way to do it is just to stay in. Like, I want this to be over as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So I haven't really been out the last 2 days, but prior to like the stay-at-home notice, like I've been going out and like helping people out, picking up books. But
can I get you to write
now
my
that
eBay listing description since you like to write? It says Diane.
yeah, sure. Yeah, she could DM me. We're friends on Instagram. I'll write her email listings.
Slide in those DMs, Diane. How do you get a truckload of books? It says D Money.
Well, right now I'm working with suppliers where I order anywhere from like 10 to 12 Gaylords at a time. Any of those guys that I work with currently, like if I was like I need a truckload, they'd be able to get me a truckload. So it's really just me ordering more of their inventory.
Diane came in. She asked us on Facebook and YouTube. She really wants you to write her eBay descriptions.
Is it just for books or DVDs? Yeah, I'll write whatever she wants. Just tell her to DM me.
How long did it take you to get the account going again? I guess he's asking that to me. I was out for, I think it was like 1 month, maybe a month and a half. And the whole time I was aggressively trying to get my account back. So for everybody,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody out there thinks that you shouldn't have multiple Amazon accounts. Like, oh, Daddy Bezos said don't do it. Do you think Bezos gives a fuck about you? What makes all these people on Facebook want to abide by Amazon's rules so much? Amazon's rules aren't the law. They're going to cut this fucking segment. And in court, when I get in trouble, they're going to say 24-year-old has 15 Amazon accounts. They're going to use this and they're going to be like, sir, can you attest to this? And I'm going to be like, oh, shit. But no, seriously, like all the people on Facebook, they piss me off. They're like, oh, terms of service says you can't do this. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. If you're being ethical, you're not selling counterfeit books, you're doing everything by the book, you should be setting up as many Amazon accounts as you can, because as you scale your business, at some point, Amazon's algorithm might screw up. They might shut you down. If you're being a good seller and you were sitting in the room having coffee with Jeff Bezos and you guys were talking about what happened, 100% he would want your account back up tomorrow because he would know you're not selling counterfeit items. You're not trying to screw over the system. And if you told him, you looked him in the eye and you were like, look, I have 15 Amazon accounts because I knew this was probably going to happen. I just want to protect myself and I didn't want all my employees to go under. I didn't want to go under. He'd be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. I guarantee you would. He just he doesn't want people playing the system. He doesn't want people sending it. He doesn't want those Indian guys sending in counterfeit books. I get messages from him all the time. Have you gotten to that point yet? You know, you made it on Instagram when you get the messages from the Indian guys asking you to sell counterfeit books for them.
I've gotten one or two so far. I'm just like,
fucking Vicky. Vicky's probably watching this right now. Vicky, he's trying to sell me mask too, all the way from India. He's the one that sent me that fake psychology book that I always show. I've showed it like 2 times in the last YouTube live videos. But
yeah, I will say that, like, if it seems like way too good to be true, like, stay away.
Yeah. Diane is saying I would not want to have to place my business in someone else's hands to that extent. Well, you write up a business agreement. You write up, look, every dollar that goes in this account. I think he actually, so he makes a different business bank account for them, and it's his business bank account. So he deals with all the money. They never even touch the money. He's got the super smart dude. He's got it down to a science. See who else is in. Does anybody know if the book ban lifts tomorrow? Apparently, it should.
Yeah.
They said the 5th. I did see, if you open your Amazon Seller app, it says something about a COVID update. Did you see that?
I did.
Did you read it? I didn't read it.
I did. It had nothing to do with books or other products.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're saying tomorrow, so we'll see. Who knows? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's gonna go down in Amazon fashion. They won't say anything. We won't be able to create new shipments. And we'll be like, "What's going on?" And then like a day later, they'll be like, "Yeah, you can't make new shipments." I'm like, oh, okay.
We'll see. We'll see what's happening. I mean, they're definitely struggling in those categories because they haven't had books for a month, but at the same time, they're selling a shit ton of other products. The president just wants, he just said he wanted everyone quarantined for 30 days. So the demand's only going to go up for those products. Either way, like, we'll survive. It's rough. I just Excel list. Because the technique we're doing is we're listing everything MF, a bunch of different batches MF. So we have like 30 plus batches right now ready to go. So as soon as the ban's lifted, we're just going to export inventory loader files, upload them to Amazon, put the labels, probably have to pull all the books back out, label them, and send them in. It'll be a nightmare, but
I mean, you gotta do, I guess. But like, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like hating on them right now, but I mean, they're losing money too, like by not accepting our stuff. So
yeah, I mean, they have to do what's best.
Yeah.
Romer, why did you get your account shut down? So a consignee sent a counterfeit book. We got a counterfeit book claim, and the account got shut down. We didn't catch it. Use stopcounterfeitbooks.com to find counterfeit books. What did you say to get back on Amazon? I had to admit fault and write a plan of action. So I had to write a plan of action. What am I going to do to make sure this doesn't happen again? And I had to be very detailed about it. What my team is doing differently, how it happened, how did we get a counterfeit book, all that stuff. Diane saying counterfeit claim. Yep. She knows all about that. Ben Bamboo again. He's saying why I stay away from Amazon drop shipping, even though there's some making a lot of money. Too big of a risk? Maybe.
Yeah.
Unless you have 15 Amazon accounts, then you're good.
Yeah.
The last update makes it sound like we won't be able after. What was the last update?
I think the last update said like at least 2. So it was like kind of vague language.
Oh, wait. So there was another update since the one they said that it was going to be released on the 5th?
It was like, so when they said the 5th, there was like 2 more updates, and that update was just like basically like, hey, like it could be up until the 5th, like we're gonna do our best kind of thing. So it's basically cover for them saying like, yeah, probably won't be the 5th. But we haven't heard anything, so who knows?
What software is good for listing books on Amazon? I use Acceleralist. Do you use Acceleralist?
I do.
Yeah. Acceleralist.
Definitely the best. I've used Inventory Labs as well. It's just too slow.
Yeah, I used ScanLister for a while. I like Acceleralist because I have a team of 8 different listers, 6 different locations, 2 lesbian couples. Kind of strange. And so they can all log in, and I can log into my Acceleralist account. We don't have to have license keys. With ScanLister, you have to have 5. Every time you get, so if for every 5 computers, you have to buy a new ScanLister subscription. So it just adds up. And I'm a nomad. I used to log into different libraries all over the country. So I wanted to be able to have a web-based listing app. How much is it? It's got like a 12-day or 14-day free trial. And I think after that, it's $35 per month. Yeah. Are you going to AL's new Acceleralist new eBay integrated feature. I need to do some more research on that myself. But I mean, I'm skeptical with Amazon Prime shipping items to eBay. I'm not super optimistic that they will be delivered to the customer on time, and just like the logistics of it all. I just need to do more research on it, because if logistically it could work out, it's like 100% no brainer. It's like if we can list our items on multiple platforms, why would we not do that?
Yeah,
Have you
100%
toyed around
agree
with
with
that?
that. And like, I have not. I mean, I do think like, yeah, logistically that could be an issue.
Your
Like
eBay
Amazon
item,
not getting it out quick enough,
you list a merchant
or
on Amazon,
worst case scenario, like the item doesn't get deleted. I think that's the toughest part.
the item doesn't get deleted on eBay.
So like whether it sells on Amazon or eBay, like one of those don't get
Oh,
deleted. And then
I
like someone
think
places an order and you
I
don't
think
have
the
the
software is
inventory.
pretty good with deleting it. I don't think that's the biggest issue. I think the issue is if it's in Amazon's warehouse, someone buys it on eBay. We're gonna put in. What are we gonna put in? Is it a removal order that we're putting in from Amazon to eBay? Like, are we
From
putting
what
a
I
removal order?
understand, it's like supposed to do it automatically. So basically, like it's almost like eBay placed an order with Amazon. I haven't looked into it 100%, but like I feel like
Like, it
that.
makes sense if you have a merchant fulfilled
Uh,
operation. It's like no brainer. Like, list
oh
on
yeah,
every platform you can. But if you don't have a merchant operation, FBA, I'm just skeptical. The email had this line: while we will continue prioritizing the products we can receive beyond April 5th, we are now able to broaden the list. Well, that I thought that was actually a good thing, Diane. When I read that email, I was like, okay, they opened up, they broadened it before the date, because they said we're not accepting any non-essential items until the 5th, I believe. And then they said, actually, we'll take a little bit more. So I thought that was a good email. But yeah, that's not the best language, because it says we are prioritizing while we are still. Yeah, they might just broaden the list a little bit more tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see.
probably.
What advice can you give to a newbie that sells books? I know it's a loaded question. I'll let you answer that one.
I would say obviously I would start with cherry picking. I would say don't be afraid to invest in software. I feel like Scout IQ would definitely be a must. Acceleralist would be a must. When I first started, I was a little skeptical of the whole like book business. I wasn't really sure. And once I got, actually, I would say a scanner
I'm
as
gonna get some
well.
tea while you answer this question.
Yeah. You get like an eYoYo scanner. It's a super cheap Bluetooth scanner. It's about like 30, $40. Um, but once you get that stuff, I mean, if you have to list through like Seller Central, like all the books, it will take you forever. I remember having to do it, and like it was fine at first, and you're like, oh, like it takes a while. But once you get software and stuff, like you could easily make up the cost of the software, the Bluetooth scanner, and your listing software with like probably anywhere from like 10 to $50. Um, and it will just speed up everything, like your growth a lot faster. I
Side note,
kind of
you talking about listing on Seller Central being slow and inefficient as hell. There was this
yeah.
guy in New York, went and saw him. And so you're doing bulk and you're using really good software. This guy was only doing Craigslist pickups. He was paying like $4 per box and not using any software, completely inefficient. Didn't know what Scout IQ was, didn't know what Scoutly was. And he was selling $60,000 in books per month. Granted, his ASP wasn't super high, but his FBA average sales price was $20. So that's pretty good. He had about 70,000 items listed merchant fulfilled. He would virtually list every book he scanned, and he was listing everything on Seller Central.
I can't even imagine that. Like
They would,
That's
because
just
they were listing
crazy.
everything. So it almost made sense. He would take the book on the sell a product page. He would scan it in, and then or type it in. And then he actually uses Excel
Brutal.
now. I convinced him. I was like,
Okay.
dude, I know you're doing $60K a month. I know, like, blah, blah, blah. And actually, I passed him up recently because I think we cracked 100,000, or we cracked like 80,000 last August. And so, like, I was like,
Wow,
you
that's
do, I
awesome.
passed you. But he now uses Acceleralist. But yeah, it just shows like you just have to really focus on certain things in your business to get it right. And he was completely wrong on the whole software side of things, but because his sources weren't even like.
Yeah, I'm sure he's saving so much time. I mean, it has to be so much faster to do it via Acceleralist.
I do like his technique though, because he's kind of sourcing and listing at the same time. So what he would do, I'm gonna take James'
Yeah.
question down. He would scan the item in, and then if it was over 3 million, he would merchant fulfill it. Regardless, if it was over 3 million, he would merchant fulfill it. If it was under 3 million and like over $8 profit, he would FBA it. So everything that entered the office was going to go on Amazon. And in order for it to enter the office, he eyeballed everything before then. So what he would do is he would open up the box. He'd say, nope, this looks like shit. This looks good. And of course, he's throwing a lot of stuff away because you know how it is. You pull out your phone, there's an old dusty book, doesn't have a barcode. You type in the ISBN number and boom, it's $98 profit with like an E-score of 5. That's happened to us so many times. So you know
Oh god, yeah.
he knew he was throwing books out too. I think he might actually be using Scout IQ now as well. But yeah, let's pull up some more questions here. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm about to go get let's see. Someone else in here. Oh, he's saying I live in Chicago. Chicago is great for book pickups. So Chicago Turn the Page. It's a Turn the Page is a booksellers meetup where we all meet up and we nerd out over books. I did a Craigslist pickup. I paid $2 for all these Christian fiction books, but they were in brand new condition. So I listed all of them brand new because they were brand new. And I made $2,000 profit off that haul.
Wow.
Built up my whole Toyota Corolla. So Chicago's got potential. Diane saying, I think it's incorporated for you, fulfillment for both Amazon and eBay. I've already bought it since I'm a lifetime accelerator. Yeah, let me know how that works. DM me, Diane. Let me know if how the fulfillment works for the eBay integration on Acceleralist. Okay. Books less than 1 million rank in 150 books sold in 6 months, etc. Do you know what that means? Is he commenting?
I'm not sure.
What are you saying, James? I think Diane and James are having a conversation. Michelle, under $200, you can get an e-yo-yo scanner. Oh, to start out, I guess he's saying. You can get an e-yo-yo scanner, Scott IQ, Amazon Seller, Acceleralist the first month, and you'll be able to just go. Yeah.
Easily.
Carlos in the house. What's good, man? James, that depends on what you're looking for. If you want things that sell fast, look for low ranks and high E scores and list to match the lowest. For longer tail books, you could get higher rank, lower E score. Yeah, basically supply demand. So supply demand, really just price and demand is what we care about finding books. What's the price? Is the price profitable? If the price is really high, we're settling with less demand. We don't care as much about the demand. If the demand is very high, we'll take lower profit. What's your profit cutoff for Gaylords?
For Gaylords, I like to do anywhere from 150 to 125 to 150. It has to have like a really high E score. But a lot of the times, if it's on the fence, I usually sell back your book. We'll take it and I give it to them because it's just easier
What was the profit cutoff?
About like $1.25, $1.25, $1.50. But that'd have to be a book that's selling like, have a really good E score, sells often. But yeah, other than that, usually sell back your book will take it, and I'd rather just give it to them.
Gotcha. Yeah, sell back your book. They take a lot of high demand books. Have you ever
Take a lot of that and like a lot of weird books where I'm like, really? Like they'll pay for this? I'm like, sure.
Some of that weird stuff. Because do you look up the sell back your book stuff on eBay to see if it's worth selling on eBay?
What'd you say?
Do you ever look their stuff up on eBay to see if it's profitable to sell on eBay?
Usually not, because I feel like a lot of the stuff on eBay, like you just make like maybe like 50 cents to $1. Like it's not worth it. But one of my theories is maybe they're trying to build sets. Like if you get like a Diary Wimpy Kid set, like I mean, like you could make like 80, $90. And they're paying like 20 cents per book. I mean, that's a lot of, but I don't know. That's just a theory.
Yeah. I really like that model. Dude's just getting tons of books to him.
Oh yeah, it's a great model. And I mean, it's a big help for me. Like, I mean, the amount of money I've made
he's providing
them. I mean, it's great.
Cash flow. Do you know how many books you're able to pull out for him on like let's say one Gaylord on average?
I would say for every maybe 6 to 8 Gaylords, I'll get a Gaylord for him. So
you're pulling a decent amount. Then you're pulling for every Gaylord. Then for every one Gaylord, you're pulling about 1/6 of a Gaylord.
Yeah.
For him.
How about that? Yeah.
What's he pay for a Gaylord for you?
Anywhere from probably like 250 to 400. It really depends. I actually got really lucky on one batch of books. One of the textbooks they were paying like $30 for. I had like 30 of them. They let me send in like 10 of them, so that was nice.
Nice. So
it's an automatic like $300.
You're making about $40 or $50 per Gaylord just for him.
Yeah.
So that's paying.
And then I'm experimenting with a new software too. That's like pulling in like some what is it, book scatter info.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting to like see like, who pays more. Like someone on book scatter or sell back your book. So that's interesting. I mean, with the storage unit, it kind of complicates things, but like, I'm all for trying new things. So it seems to be working out right now.
Yeah, there's a certain when I lived at my parents' house, I would scan a book and I would scan it into the Book Scouter app, and I would see how much is Pals paying for it, how much is Sell Back Your Book paying for it, how much is Valor Book paying for it, how much is Textbook Rush, and I would have a box for each one, and I would throw the book in whichever box they were paying the most for it. And I remember filling up Sell Back Your Book the most back then. But that was before their Gaylord program. And then Bill, the sales rep for Sell Back Your Book, he's a hustler. He found me on Facebook somehow, like last year, like because I used to post the videos in various Facebook groups of me like listing super fast, like the time lapse videos. And somehow he like got my number, and he was like, "Hey, I see you list a lot of books on Amazon. I would like you to be a partner of mine." Blah blah blah. And then I put him in touch with a lot of people. I put him in touch with Matthew Adolph, Caleb Roth. I'm responsible for the Scout IQ Sell Back Your Book integration.
Really?
Yeah, that was me. So I should be getting paid, but I ain't got paid shit.
Yeah,
Bill,
you need to get your piece.
Pay me, man. I know you're watching this shit right now. You owe me some money. Me and Rakin are starting to Sell Back Your Book company. What are we going to call it? He's got a mouthful right now. Miami Books. R&R.
That would work. R&R Books.
Return your books to R&R. I don't know. Michelle's saying posted before I wanted. Grr. Don't growl at us, Michelle. What software do you use tracking profits from books? What software do you use?
I use Caleb's tracking spreadsheet.
If you guys don't know what Caleb's tracking spreadsheet is, I'm gonna show them real quick. So this is screen share.
It's
for everyone.
by far the best. I mean, like, I mainly used inventory labs for kind of like accounting needs. But once I found out about this spreadsheet, I was like, wow, like this shows you more about your business than you could ever deem possible. And then getting into like a little consignment stuff, obviously it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it's great for consignment. It's great for online arbitrage. I just made an online arbitrage book selling course, and you can see here, this is from summer 2018. I was living in my car. I was in California at the time, and I was going crazy. I just got my first credit card, and I was buying textbooks, $52. I bought it, sold it for $125, and Amazon fees were $25. I made $47 profit. I spent $110. Now get this. I spent $110 on this engineering book, $110. And I sold it for $199. Amazon fees were $37. So I made $51 on that flip. It was only 26% ROI. But since I paid $110 for the book, I made $5.50 in. Am I sharing the screen with you guys?
Yeah.
I made $5.50 in Amazon, not trade credit. What the hell is it called? Rewards, Amazon rewards. And if you use the Discover credit card, you get 5% back as well too. Now it wasn't all glitter and sunshine. If we scroll up, the first time I did OA, I actually lost a bunch of money. So you can see it tells you if you lose money on books. So this spreadsheet is really insightful. When you just pull up different sources. I can literally pull up any source right now. I can pull up all my consignees. I can pull up just different. This is from way back. This is actually a really old spreadsheet version. I was using it for a demonstration for my course. So it actually doesn't have any of my consignees in here. But you can see I lost $27 on this book. Paid $38 for it. Sold it for $22. And you'll see most of the time you'll lose money on the books that you sell in October. Because you're selling it during the off season, and that's not when the book spikes. You want to sell it during like the third week of August, early September, during that price spike. But yeah, this is spreadsheet's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, my advice is just like get out there, get started, and I don't know, follow people like Romer.
Keep crushing it, man. Keep crushing it. To who? Diane? Diane's in here. What's up, Diane? Raking. Hit me up. We gotta do a video sometime. Hell yeah, hit Raking Up. Romer, do you offer a course that teaches you how to sell books? Yes. He's gonna DM you. He's gonna slide in the DMs. I have a course called the Book Business Blueprint. It includes everything I know about books. Like it includes, for the last 2 years, everything I've learned is in this course. It teaches you how to close the loops. So get the book, list the book, reprice the book, and have all that do it time and time again by itself without you being there. Also, I have something called the 7-day challenge. Super excited about this one. This one's like no fucking excuses, guys. This is like literally all the videos in this are 1 to 5 minutes, and it's just me being like, look, this is what the fuck you're supposed to do. Go do it. We're gonna hit the benchmarks that we set. So the first benchmark is 200 books. I walk you through how to set triggers on Scout IQ to ensure that the 200 books that we source are actually going to make you $1,000 profit. Here's the intro to that course. Super badass. Shout out J Mac, my virtual assistant. He made this. He's really good. He's really super talented with artwork, but check this out.
Look, grind hard, well done, sir, and welcome to the freaking Well Show.
Make your first
It's pretty sweet.
$1,000 selling on Amazon. Wouldn't you agree? Like if someone goes out there and they just like hustle hard, I feel like what people do is like they start and it takes them like 3 months to even realize like this shit's real. Like they think it's a scam. And then once they realize it's real, they'll go a little bit harder in it. But wouldn't you agree if someone just set the right triggers, goes out and just scans like fucking like 5,000 books every few days and actually lists them and sends them to Amazon? Wouldn't you agree they can make $1,000 in less than 7 days?
100%.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. Like if you could send in like 200-300 books, I mean, obviously depending on your triggers, I mean,
we're going to get this shit translated in Spanish too. I keep saying this. This isn't for sure yet. Rakin's listening. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? But dude, if we got Mexicans to do this, they work so much harder. I was talking to Latin pickers. Right? Dude, they would just like all the people listening on Facebook right now. Dude, I want to do this just to piss all those people off on Facebook. All the people on Facebook that are like, oh, you're ruining the book market. Well, I'm going to translate this shit into Spanish and get them because they're not lazy. What they're going to do is go out and work way harder and take all the fucking books.
All the people who are saying like you're in the book market, those are like the lazy people. That's my theory. No, everyone's like, oh, you're ruining the book market. You're giving away all the secrets. Those are the lazy people.
Yeah, those are lazy people. They don't want to offer value.
100%.
You have to find ways to offer value. Like the people that are going to offer value, the people that are going to offer value for the thrift stores, the libraries, you got to realize like this is a product-based business, but it's in order to scale it, you have to turn into a service-based business. You have to start offering a service for people. What's your service? Is your service free pickups? Is your service consignment? Is your service you're paying people a lot for their books? Offer some type of value to your client. Wherever you're getting these books from, you're going to be a leech to them until you offer value, and resellers can offer value in a myriad of ways. We just have to be a little bit creative. Tell Ray can respond to his Insta DMs. Yeah, he doesn't read them. He's too busy. Diane said that.
I'm winking at her.
He's winking at you. I just relayed his wink. All right, brother. Well, I think that's about it. They can find you at sidehustleexperiment.com. That's so cool. They can find you at Side Hustle Experiment on Instagram. You got a YouTube yet?
Not yet. I'm working on that.
Cool.
I want to get the blog up and running first.
Nice.
And then I'll go from there after that.
Hell yeah. All right, brother. Peace out.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate
everyone watching this. I'm trying to get to 4,000 subs. So hit that subscribe button so you get notified. Peace out, family.
Peace. Thanks.